Wow. Wow. Was that an arm fart, an elbow arm fart?
No, that was the cheek, the side of the face and the cheek.
What?
Like,
this is a shining moment on this show.
well, this show's off to a great start.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to Don't Get Your Hopes Up.
Hosted by adults.
Hosted by adults. My name is Josh Allen, a.k.a. 33 years old.
And my name is Mike, a.k.a. a father and a full-on grown-up.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
I'm glad this happened.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
How's
this is good.
Yeah, there we go. I had to take off my sweater so I could get a good armpit fart going later on in case we need it, in case of emergencies, you know?
In case of armpit emergency.
Uh-huh. Quick! We
Jesus
need an
Christ.
arm fart. Like, I'm done.
Why do people listen to this show?
I
really want to know. If you listen to this show, please tell me why you listen to this. And then seek therapy.
I want everyone to just be like, oh yeah, we just skipped the first 45 seconds to 5 minutes. That's usually pretty safe. It's kind of like every YouTube video where you skip the first third. And
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it. Actually, was a name for it. But you can skip the first like 30% of any YouTube video and get right to what the video is actually about every time.
Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Sniper Rifle Nick here, and today we're gonna talk about this video game that I just picked up the other day, and it's really great, and I've been enjoying it a whole lot. By the way,
sorry I haven't made a video in so long. I've just been busy with, and then it goes a fucking tangent.
And if you want to support me through this hard time that I'm having, please make sure to like and subscribe and favorite and follow me on Twitter. And
speaking of hard times someone on YouTube's having.
Yes, yeah. So speaking on smashing that dislike button, holy shit. So, damn, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man. Hey, thanks.
I
felt like I kind of just walked into it and I just kind of, it was just there, but
yeah. So speaking of walking into things and then they're just there. So okay, hang on.
Wait a minute.
I feel like most people at this point will probably understand the entirety of what I'm about to say if I just say the words Pewdiepie.
All right, we can go on to the next subject now.
Yeah, done. There it is. Done. Moving on. But no, it's actually really interesting from an academic standpoint to see what's currently happening with this guy. Short recap. PewDiePie, longtime most famous YouTuber. Mm-hmm. Sort of the guy that every YouTuber aspires to be because he makes like fucking millions of dollars every year.
He's got a net worth of $124 million.
Yeah, he's... Mm-hmm,
apparently.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true, but that's just the number I saw.
Yeah. Has always been a little bit crass, like a little bit over the top, very like, shock jock sort of stuff. Like, he's almost in a lot of ways the Howard Stern of modern internet. Does that make sense? Like,
sure. He's
there to...
Shock jock is, totally.
Yeah,
I get
exactly, yeah. Recently decided, you know what? For the next, 40 episodes of my show, let's just talk about how all Jews should be dead. And, having people holding up signs that's like, Jews belong in the oven or something. Like, just the worst shit that you could possibly say.
It was death to all Jews.
Death to all Jews,
and, he was using Fiverr. Are you familiar with the service?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so he was using Fiverr. For those who don't know, it's basically a service we could go through, and there's a bunch of people that will, just like you and me, who offer up some kind of service. I could draw something for you, I could make a logo, I could record something, I could do whatever. We used it when we did that MBL thing with Space Engineers last year. I had I wanted a nice kind of robotic British accent to kind of be the one doing the countdowns, to make the calls and all that stuff, kind of Unreal Tournament style almost, but
right,
British and sexy.
Yeah.
And and so you could pay people as little as $5 for a lot of things to get this stuff done. And so what he wanted to do was see like, what can I get people to do for $5? And sometimes they'll make these like little funny videos. Like I could go and find, drunk Santa will sing a song with your name in it for $5, stuff like that. Like the people made these little videos for that little. And so this was one of those things where he had them write that to all Jews. Now I get the point he was trying to make. Like how far would people go for $5? And the premise alone is funny, but the content was a bit too far.
And it didn't help that seriously 8 of his previous episodes had also anti-Semitic, horribly racist shit in it. So this wasn't like, oh wow, PewDiePie, you kind of stepped over the line a little bit in that one episode that you did that one time. It was like, oh PewDiePie, you've been living across the line for the past month and a half. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And so
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the fallout from that is, at first, Maker Studios, which is owned by Disney doesn't really want to support anti-Semitic racist bullshit.
Shocker.
So they were like, yeah, crazy. So they were like, you know what, you're fired.
Considering they did a bunch of propaganda movies back in World War II, but yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's okay when it's American. Oh, Jesus Christ. Welcome to Trump's America, everyone. But anyway, #politics. So Maker Studios fired him pretty much immediately. This video went out, and they looked at this video and they went, wow, that is fucked the hell up. And then they looked at his past, like I said, his past 8 videos before then. They were like, okay, this is continually fucked up. And so they fired him. And then YouTube canceled. He was going to have this weird, all I know about the show is that it was called Scare PewDiePie, which doesn't sound like an interesting show.
No, it doesn't.
So YouTube lost nothing. PewDiePie lost his show that he was going to do on YouTube Red, which is not RedTube. Just general reminder, YouTube Red, RedTube, they're different things. And then it's man, I've actually lost track of the number of people that he works with that have canceled their, does he still have a mobile game at this point? I feel like he's lost everything in the past few weeks.
Well, I mean, he lost a lot, and inevitably it means nothing.
Sure.
So he, I do think that the Wall Street Journal definitely was looking for some headlines. He's basically the biggest YouTuber right now, right?
Yeah. He's
that puts a target on your back.
Sure.
And it's not personal. It's just you're the biggest guy. And if I could do something to chip away at that and gives me a headline, I'm going to get traffic. Now, a lot of what they took was actually out of context. Now, in the video, they demonstrate I think probably 5 things or something like that. And I know for sure, I think 3 of them are out of context. One of them, hilariously, is actually from a video about people taking things out of context, which is the one where he's sitting there wearing the Nazi outfit, watching shit. And he was that was in a video that was about people taking things out of context, and they fucking used it, which is So
there's a point though where I think
I'm not saying that what he's doing is funny and it's not crossing the line, because it is really, really pushing it. But when you put out, I mean, honestly, I have 2,500, maybe 3,000 videos out there where I'm saying things. I'm pretty sure I've probably said some shit that I would totally regret right now if somebody went back and dug deep enough. Absolutely. But I'm not big enough for somebody to spend their time doing that.
Earlier in this show, I said the phrase "all Jews belong in the oven." I said that referencing something that I was imagining. I don't think he ever actually said that, but giving the example of something that he was saying in this context. Mm-hmm. So yeah, totally taking things out of context. It's a problem. I think there's a little bit more to it though than just like there's a point where you have to say, okay, yeah, but even in context, it was still a fucking stupid thing to say. Like, I don't know. I don't think it was out of context is an automatic get out of jail free card or get out of having all of your YouTube forever canceled free card. Because like there are some things this and maybe this is just because I have as much experience as I do at this point in like online marketing. There are things you don't joke about. There are things that are just never funny. And you just don't. You don't touch that. You stay the fuck away from that.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, if I make this joke, I'm going to offend some people. And some people like to offend people. And as a result, they're going to deal with the consequences when they've offended a whole fuck ton of people. PewDiePie was in the sort of position where he needed to not really offend people like, I don't know, Disney. And like lose his main, like obviously in the grand scheme of things, he's probably still going to be fine. Like he won't make as much this year as he did last year.
Oh, are you kidding me?
He has too strong of a brand to fall. He won't make as much just because of the hit that he's going to take through having to recover from being dropped out of Maker. But he will still probably be the most popular YouTuber at the end of this year, which is kind of fucked up. But
so again, I don't condone the things that he said, but I still want to see him overall as a creator succeed. Ultimately, he will eventually refine himself and maybe pull back a little bit on some of these jokes. But I think that with everything that happened, it kind of freed him up a little bit. When Howard Stern was going through this, at the time, a lot of people were saying, oh yeah, he just says things to shock jock, right? He says he's a shock people and
sure.
And whatever. And he was always battling with the FCC and if you've ever seen Private Parts, I think Private Parts is actually a pretty good documentary on pretty much exactly how.
I've never seen anyone's Private Parts.
No one's Private Parts, huh?
I try not to look. It makes it very difficult to use the bathroom.
And so when what had happened with him was he got so much attention from this him versus the FCC thing that his followers just grew. And with PewDiePie, the exact same thing happened. If you look at the Social Blade stats, like his numbers went up. Now I understand that, if he gained an additional 250,000 subscribers because of this headline, it doesn't necessarily mean he's directly making money and monetizing each one of those users because of whatever his situation is now. He's not with Maker, which means he's probably he's probably going to get signed to somebody else, if not just running off of AdSense alone. But I'm pretty sure he wants somebody to manage that account for him. So, and by that I mean like doing direct sales. And so you have to find, a group that's willing to do that. Him not being part of Maker, I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot of people that are probably asking him, hey, man, do you want to sign up for this? We'll give you whatever cut and whatever. So I think ultimately he's going to end up financially coming out perfectly fine with all of this.
Yeah, it's not the end of PewDiePie by any means.
Not at all. And it's not the downfall by any stretch either. If anything, it's an uptick.
Yeah, and that in a lot of ways is just to sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's sort of indicative of just what the online temperature is like in terms of the sort of stuff that people watch. Mm-hmm. I do think, like, we've made a lot of comparisons to Howard Stern because PewDiePie is sort of, like I even said earlier, he's like this generation's Howard Stern because he's taking the same sort of, like, shock jock mentality. Yeah. I think it's important to draw a distinction there in that what Howard Stern used to use as shock jock material was usually like sex related.
Oh, of course.
And it was like, oh, hello, excuse me, could you talk to me about your pussy for the next 10 minutes? And like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm here to talk about my pussy. It wasn't hateful necessarily. It wasn't usually hate speech, I guess is where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Whereas what PewDiePie is doing, like, sure, it's shocking, but it's hateful and like it's very negative and it's very it's offensive in a way that it wasn't, oh, you shouldn't say that. It's more along the lines of, wow, you really fucking shouldn't say that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, just to continue drawing lines between the two, I had to pull it up because honestly, I don't remember every instance where Howard Stern said something that pissed people off, but I found a fantastic list. Selena's death, 1995. He said that not only did Alvin and the Chipmunks have more soul than her music, he also played gunshot sound effects over her tracks.
Wow.
Columbine shooting, 1999. Stern remarked how really good-looking girls ran away from the gunman. Quote, there were some really good-looking girls running around with their hands over their heads. Did these kids try to have sex with any of these good-looking girls? Did they even do that? So this is like, holy shit. Like, he said that, even especially by today's standards with, you know, how PC a lot of things are going. But back then it was pretty shocking, obviously.
Yeah.
And so I think the comparisons are pretty apt. I think, and we don't have to continue doing more, but because I'm sure we can find more. But here's what I hope doesn't happen. Howard Stern he signed up for like a crazy $50 million contract or something insane, or maybe even more, with Sirius XM.
Right.
And they promoted that he was shock jock. Oh, he could say whatever he wants. Everyone's like, oh God, he can say whatever he wants. It's awesome. And so they kind of promoted that. He had good qualities in general as a DJ. He just, like PewDiePie, overstepped the line every once in a while, sometimes often. I hope that PewDiePie doesn't get picked up by something, right? Some other, it could be like, I don't know, let's just pretend Vimeo or something like that, which would be really odd. But let's just say Vimeo, a competitor to YouTube, like picks them up. It's like, yeah, we want you to do
competitor in the vaguest sense of the term.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, we want you to do content that's like really edgy and really, we don't care about, these, you don't have to be politically correct and you could say all these jokes or whatever. I hope he doesn't go that route.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he would.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's an interesting thing to watch and see what's happening with it. Just because, like, this is really the first time something this high profile has happened in the YouTube community, and that, like, we've had a major YouTuber. Like, sure, there have been YouTubers in the past who have come under flack for saying things that they probably shouldn't have. Like, fuck, I've worked with YouTubers in the past who have had issues based on stuff that they'd said, like during events or whatever. It's actually fairly common, but this is the first time that someone's this like high end. Like, it's hard to say that there's a higher end YouTuber than PewDiePie, but this is the first that this big of a deal has happened, and we're gonna see ripple effects from this. We're gonna see things starting to spill out elsewhere, and maybe we'll start seeing a lot more people at the sort of average, like, I don't know, what was that, TGN whatever level of YouTubers starting, oh, you can't say that anymore because PewDiePie got hit for it, so now you can't say it either. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch. Not necessarily what happens to PewDiePie here, because, like you say, he's going to be fine. Like, he's that collection of 9 letters is entirely too useful right now for anything seriously bad to happen to him.
Yeah.
But I think the interesting part of this is watching what happens to YouTube as a whole and to other content creators and seeing where things sort of adjust from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, like kind of like a year from now, like has this had any impact on trends? Like Casey Neistat. You know who he is?
No.
He does a lot of camera related stuff. And then he does a ton of drone shit. He used to do a daily vlog that was really well edited and had like flyovers of New York and stuff that he like did himself. Just like if you have a chance to watch any of his vlogs, you should, because they're really, really high quality. So he stopped doing his daily vlog, which was a huge thing, and he was growing in popularity like incredibly. And he stopped doing the daily vlog. And once he stopped doing that, I noticed that all the other like camera related, initially camera related, and then I saw like other like some gaming personalities start doing these like daily, or more frequently these edited, like highly edited vlogs. Like instead of just being, you know, I'm walking between point A and point B and I'm gonna talk to you for 5 minutes, it actually became, you know, here I am at this place. Some of the shots were set up a bit more. So like, for example, you set up a shot so it's running, and then you come walking into the shot and sit down as if the camera, you know, was just always there. Little things like that, I started to see pop up a bunch more once he stopped doing it. So yeah, going back to what you said, it's like, I wonder if, you know, a year from now we could pinpoint this is okay. Yeah, this is the time. Well, I guess what would be the metric? People stop fucking with the Nazi jokes. Like I wonder what the actual if there's any kind of measurable outcome from this.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. And I think like you mentioned earlier, like things are getting very PC nowadays, and that's just it's interesting to like. So I grew up the same time you did. So we grew up in the sort of Gen X area, right? Like I think you and I both technically qualify as millennials, but we were hanging around all the Gen Xers basically at the time.
Yeah.
And we were looking up to the Gen Xers. And they were the like, no, you say what you want. You do what you want. You can, there's freedom of speech means I can say whatever I want, and everyone else who gets offended by it, that's their problem and not mine sort of thing. And so we grew up around this whole like almost rebellion against society and rebellion against politeness in a sense, right? Like, no, I don't care if you're upset that I have said this horrible thing, because that sounds like your problem. It's not my problem that you're upset about this. And now in this day and age, it's sort of circled back around to, wow, you probably just shouldn't be a dick to people. You should probably, just to be a nice person, you should be a nice person. Like that seems reasonable, right? It's just really interesting to watch. And I think it just means I'm old mostly.
No, I think you're right. I mean, one of my favorite, like, here's an example of the times when we were younger, is Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
It's such a great example of where comedy was. And if you think about, like, you know, Richard Pryor leading into Eddie Murphy, like basically pushing that limit of being more vulgar, talking about things that, you know, you normally wouldn't, you know, joke about or necessarily even talk about.
Comedians like George Carlin.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that us growing up, when we would say something offensive, like, I'll be honest, we used to say everything was gay. And we used to call each other fag, like, and like now saying it, it's
I
like,
played Counter-Strike in those days.
But yeah,
I was in those IRC chat rooms.
Exactly, like we used to say that all the time. We didn't necessarily deem that offensive. Like I think we sometimes broke out something a little bit more offensive every once in a while because we were with our friends and we felt like we wanted to be edgy or something. But I think what's changed between then and now is now those jokes are existing on a platform in a medium that are highly accessible. So now
you get called out on your shit a lot more.
Yeah. So now you say things, and everybody, somebody retweets it, and then somebody else sees it, retweets it, and suddenly this thing that you said that back then maybe you said something offensive, be funny and edgy in front of your three friends, and now you get publicly shamed. Now, if you said something in front of your friends that was crossing the line, you know, they'll probably maybe tell you, right? And then that's it. Now you're like, okay, well, I feel like an asshole, right?
Yeah.
And then that's the end of it. If you do that online now, like you get doxxed and all of a sudden you're like shunned and you could never exist on the internet again because somebody will dig it up and find out that, oh, this guy used to be this guy and he said this thing. And so it haunts you forever. And so I think that's where the PC culture has kind of evolved, and I use it jokingly because I do feel like sometimes people get a little out of hand with it, right? Like they'll find something to be offended by.
Sure.
But I do believe in some cases that it is obviously a necessary thing to kind of make people aware that, hey, you can't just fucking say that, man.
Yeah, and like nowadays, like stuff that you say, like this kind of goes in with what you're saying, but stuff that you say gets exposed to so many people that come from different viewpoints. So you end up, in a lot of cases, inadvertently offending people that it just never occurred to you that something was offensive. So like the example I'm thinking of, like just the other night, I was very drunk. I was watching Parks and Rec, and I tweeted something about how Nick Offerman was my spirit animal.
And then you have a lot of spirit animals.
And that I have a lot of spirit animals, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I had two separate people reply to me saying, unless you're Native American, you shouldn't joke about this. And it just had never occurred to me at all that was one of those like misappropriation of culture level jokes. I just always like, oh yeah, spirit animal. It's kind of a religion joke, right? And it just had not even ever occurred to me that what I was saying could be taken as offensive by some cultures. And so I was like, oh shit, okay, let's stop making spirit animal jokes, because clearly there are people that are going to read my tweets that will be offended by that.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Laura.
Well, but I think part of it too is like... That's
exactly what I'm talking about. No, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think part of it too is like, I don't know, I generally try to not offend people. I generally try to not make people feel worse about their day. And so like I'm not religious, but I'm not going to make a joke about like the Pope touching people or whatever, right? Like, cause like some people out there are, and I don't want to offend those people and make their day worse. And so like
yeah, you won't make a Jesus joke because some people are religious and they'll take offense to that. Sure. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know, like there's elements of like, I think it's easy to sort of laugh it off and go, I can't believe those people would get offended by that. But on the other hand, it's like, but they did. So is that I've upset someone. I generally want to not upset people. So I don't know. This is like, I should be clear. I don't particularly feel bad about like what I tweeted the other day, just because I had no idea, and I didn't know, and my intention was not to upset anybody. But now that I know that sort of thing will upset people, it's like, okay, maybe don't do that again.
All right, so
we're getting all existential up in here.
I would have told them to fuck off. I would have told them to fuck right off, or actually, I probably wouldn't have said. I would just ignored it, right?
Right.
I get what you're saying, right? Misappropriation of culture or whatever. Cultural misappropriation. I get it. I think the only people that have issues with it are the people that are not actually supposed to be offended by it. And so like, and even with that's the case or not the case, it doesn't matter. Spirit animal is such a vague term. It's such a vague fucking term that's probably used by a lot of people in a lot of cultures. And I
mean, it's mostly used by Native Americans, for sure.
I don't feel like it's not like, I don't know, cracking a joke about a peace pipe or something, or something that is very, very direct. I don't know. Sorry, that's upsetting to me, because that's exactly what I'm talking about, that people will find something to get offended by.
And that's the horrible nightmare that we find ourselves in online culture these days, is being offended by something is offensive to someone else. And we just get in this vicious circle of everything is offensive. And then you just put your phone away and you don't talk on Twitter for a while.
Yeah, you just basically go, yeah.
So welcome to the internet. Everything is or isn't offensive, and how dare you?
Yeah, so if you ever get a contract or something with Disney, just step away from social media altogether.
Yeah,
because you're bound to say something that's going to get taken out of context, or something that's going to, get retweeted out of like a paragraph or something that you had written.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the end of you. Jesus.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's fair to say that society tends to sort of pick whatever the most offensive thing is right now as well. Like looking at especially the current political climate, the current overall social climate, like being offensive towards women, very bad. Being offensive towards minorities, very bad. Being offensive towards religion, less bad at the moment. People don't care as much about that unless it's certain religions. Like there's certain religions that are seen as overly persecuted right now. Like the Muslim religion, for example, is one that right now you don't be offensive toward Muslims.
You mean, so what you're saying is Christian jokes are cool, right?
Christian jokes are cool. Yeah. Make fun of Jesus all you want. No one cares right now. Yeah. And like, well, it's not just Christianity either. Like no one's getting really upset about, how dare you because Buddhism, right? Like no one's really getting upset about, I forget the name of it, but like the Hawaiian religion. These are religions that just aren't under fire at the moment. But the Muslim religion right now is like, okay, yeah, people are allowed to practice their religion and you shouldn't be shitting on Muslims for practicing their Muslim religion, right? Like, people misunderstand the religion and so on and so on and so on. I think it's fair to say that whatever's offensive at the moment is just whatever. I know
what you're saying. No, there's always like this. It's basically the what's hot like right now, like what's trending. There's like this like a trend. There's always a trending set of what should you be offended by, right?
In a lot of ways,
what should you tiptoe around, for a short period of time, and then maybe later on you can make a joke about it.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, it's almost sort of determined by whatever the current political climate is, whatever the current like what sort of bad things have happened recently. Like the reason the Muslim religion is one that you just don't joke about right now is that there's been like this stupid travel ban on the Muslim countries recently, predominantly Muslim countries. There's been all sorts of like terrorist activities taken either against Muslims and Muslim like mosques or whatever, or supposedly done under the name of extreme Muslims or extreme Islams or Islamic. What's the ISIS basically is where I'm going with that. I forget the exact term for it. And so that's the sort of thing that like right now, okay, extremists? This is, like this is a serious thing right now. Meanwhile, the Christians, and sure, there's like the Westboro Baptists and there's the, I forget the other group. There are definitely extremist Christian groups that do some really bad shit. But the overall political climate right now is to sort of look at them and go, what the fuck, dude? That's stupid. Whereas, I guess it's a lot more mixed at the moment, looking at something like the Muslim religion, because there are a lot of people who are just like, hey, you better ban all the Muslims from coming into America because they're all gonna shoot me or whatever. And that's the sort of thing that most well-educated people, and I don't have an issue at all with saying well-educated people because that is actually very true. Most well-educated people look at that and go, wow, that's stupid. How dare you even say that? That's really, really dumb. But it does create a lot more of a hot spot. And wow, this show got really serious.
I know.
When I wasn't looking.
I was like, hold on.
Hang on a second.
Do I hit the brakes here? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, don't be a dick.
Yeah, it's oh man. The thing is, like, I can't imagine like, do you need the title of comedian to be able to get away with making certain jokes?
Apparently not, because it still doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't know. I do kind of get that feeling. Like I do not envy. So watching a show right now, it's called How to Get Away with Murder, right? TLDR is basically it takes place on a campus for some of it, because the main character is a law teacher at this school. And there was, in one of the recent episodes, a smear campaign that went on, and there's a bunch of other like kind of side like kind of conversations that some of the other characters who are students that go to school, that they'll talk about what kind of discuss what life on campus life is like. And let me tell you, I do not envy campus life, like people who are in college right now and
Right.
having a good time, I guess. But because of what I've seen, like especially coming out of like Berkeley and some of the local colleges here, I just don't understand how anybody can go to school and like don't open your mouth and say anything, because Jesus fucking God, you're gonna get stomped to the ground because you might offend somebody. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
Mm.
But I'm tired of being this serious about stuff. Let's move on to something else.
Okay.
So speaking of...
Sunday, shut up! Sorry.
What?
Sunday's like poking at the door or something, but she won't come in if I open it, so I can't open it.
Okay. So we kind of had the PewDiePie topic and then a whole bunch of other like sort of topics for this episode. I'm just gonna pick one at random. Okay, actually, hang on. Let's do this. So let's talk about stuff that's coming up soon.
All right.
That I'm excited about. I'm gonna start with Mass Effect Andromeda.
All right.
Dude, did you see the gameplay trailer for that the other day?
I did.
So the most fun and also worst way to play Mass Effect has always been the Vanguard. Because
yes, that is very true.
Yeah. You jump into the middle of a whole big group of enemies, you kill one of them, and then get shotgunned by the other 5 and die. That's how the Vanguard has always worked. Mm-hmm. But then like half of this gameplay trailer was this whole like I'm gonna jump in and then jump back out and like back off and like jetpack and like go back in, and like it looks really, really fun. And it sort of really got me in the mood, because like I remember playing especially in Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 1, it was still kind of getting its feet in terms of like the different archetypes that you could play. Mm-hmm. But in Mass Effect 2, like if you played an infiltrator, for example, and you spec fully into stealth, fully into like the first shot that you get out of stealth does like 5,000% increased damage.
Yeah.
And then you go right back into stealth again. Like the level of just stupid bullshit you could pull off was so much fun. And just like I'm watching this gameplay trailer and I'm remembering all of the fun I had, not necessarily even with the story, but with actually playing the game. And now, man, I really want this game to be good. I really want it to be good.
It's funny. The gameplay I actually enjoyed the gameplay because it looked like Mass Effect 3. Like, it looked like an HD or I guess a 4K texture pack for like Mass Effect 3 with some UI improvements. Of course, they showcase a lot of different weapons, which is great, and then of course tons of biotic abilities used in conjunction with weapons, which is always good to see, because sometimes you'll see somebody, like when they do like a demonstration, they'll just like, okay, this is this spell, and they hit a button, it does this spell, and it's like, all right, cool. But then when you show it like in conjunction with another ability or with your primary weapon or whatever in combat, then suddenly it's like, oh wow, that's really fucking cool. So yeah, I think that like I'm watching the video now, like there's like the character like kind of customization thing going on here, and like the armor looks fucking great. The textures look good. It
just looks like core Mass Effect.
It
like
does.
It is the distilled essence of Mass Effect.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have multiplayer again.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear the crazy theory about your like second in command and how she's tied to another major character?
Yes.
The one about the second in command, her name is Cora Harper.
Yeah, I think yeah, good.
Did I tell you about this on a previous episode?
I think so. But
Okay.
go ahead, I'll pretend like it didn't happen.
Okay. So she's your second in command. Her name is Cora Harper. Possibly related to someone named Jack Harper, who was the elusive man.
What?
Yeah. No, that's the sort of thing that I don't know. Like I've apparently talked about this before. I try not to listen to myself, so I generally forget when I say things. But given that this is happening at the same time as the events of Mass Effect 2, Well, it starts at the same time of the events of Mass Effect 2, and then you get sent like 600 years in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's really interesting.
Yep. And what is it? 23rd, 21st? When does it come out?
Soon. Let's see. It comes out on the 21st.
21st. Yeah. Not February. Tuesday.
Yeah. That'd be nice. It comes out in 2 days.
Yeah.
Man, I wish. But yeah, man, I really hope it's good. I've been talking to a bunch of people like at work about it too. And it's sort of the gameplay looks great. The aesthetics look great. The general world and look and feel of it look great. Really hope the story doesn't suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's making me want to replay through Mass Effect though. Like I kind of want to just marathon Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3 cuz I still haven't played Mass Effect 3 with the updates. Like,
oh yeah, neither have I. That's right. We talked about that too. Like, can we go back and play through the whole thing, and then maybe we just forgot about how much the original ending hurt?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also I guess the other question, and I'm slightly stealing from my chat room for this one, is I wonder how many people Jennifer Hale will voice in Mass Effect Andromeda.
I mean, yeah, there's only like 6 voice actors in gaming, so yeah,
basically. And she has such a distinctive voice as well that you can tell when something's Jennifer Hale. So yeah, which isn't great for someone who voices literally everyone. Like, oh, you're the same person again. I got it. So speaking of other things that are coming up soon, the Switch is actually coming out really soon.
Yeah.
It's like 2 weeks at this point, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, not very long at all.
And I asked you before the show, like, you know, what do you like, do you know anything about it? And you were like, no. And I was like, do you know anything about it? And what did you say?
No. So it is kind of shocking how little attention I'm paying to this console that I've pre-ordered. Like earlier today, actually, I pre-ordered Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Because it occurred to me that I had pre-ordered a Switch but no games. So I was gonna get a Switch and literally have nothing to do with
it, like in the box.
I don't know. That's how little attention I paid to this thing.
Oh my god!
Hang on, let's see. I'm gonna check my Amazon orders.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go check your own order.
Yeah. Wow, the 3rd is when it actually comes out. That is not far away at all.
Mm.
All right, so there's some shoes that I bought. Oh, I got a USB power charger cable for Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Do you do that sometimes? You go through your Amazon list and you're like, oh, I was drunk. Why did I order that?
No, I got that for a reason, so that I could charge my SP, which is still the best handheld console that's ever been created.
Dang. Some bold words. I don't give a shit though.
It's gonna be tough to argue with that. It's fact. It's been proven.
Mm-hmm. Proven.
Yeah, I don't think I actually get any games with this. So it's a good thing I decided to pre-order Zelda.
Let's see. The Mel Brooks collection. Oh yeah, I totally needed that.
Oh yeah, Mel Brooks. Yeah, that's good.
I actually have all the individual movies, but I guess for some reason I needed the fucking Mel Brooks collection.
Oh, are we doing Amazon orders right now?
That was a drunk order.
Oh man.
Let's see. Did I get anything else?
So I got this a few weeks ago, which is a book that I haven't read yet. It's titled "Reality is Not What It Seems: The Journey to Quantum Gravity."
What? Is that a book?
It's a book. It sounds interesting.
Uh-huh.
I haven't read it yet. It does sound really interesting though.
Oh, oh no, never mind. I was like, why did I buy Destiny again on the 16th or on 2016? It's like, oh yeah, that was
oh shit.
That was Rise of Iron. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna pretend like that.
I think I never got this item, which was a Game Boy
shit.
Advance SP earphone adapter.
It's a good thing. Good thing we're checking. We're checking here.
Yeah.
You send someone an email. It's like, hey, so don't think I haven't noticed.
Yeah. Man, we're getting back into the.
We're back in the.
Here's the one where I ordered a book entitled "Finish This Book." I ordered a 2-pack of Santa hats, and I ordered an expansion to a board game called Escape. All in the same order. That's how Amazon works. It's you, especially in my area. I'm sure you have the same up there, where you have the like free 1-day shipping, but only if you order more than like $35 worth of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I will regularly be like, okay, I really want this cable tomorrow, but the cable cost $5. I need to add $30 of shit to this order. What else do I kind of want? And I do this to save the $3 of shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Switch coming out soon. What is this you put this in here? There was a leak or something?
Oh yeah, no. Somebody I guess stole one, and then there was a video floating around, which I'm fairly sure is related. And it had a what's it called? It basically demonstrated the OS and all that stuff, and it was. I didn't even watch the video because that's how much I give a shit about it.
Wow.
But
I also didn't watch the video because I've been paying no attention to this thing I've spent now $400
on. Yeah, so apparently it was stolen, and then the guy who had it said that it was a pre-order that shipped early, and turned out that was fake or false, and then I guess it got returned. So I guess it got returned yesterday, as a matter of fact. So I guess the guy was actually just borrowing it, right?
Yeah.
just borrowing it. Yeah, stolen from a distribution center. Thank you, God Pigeon. Yeah, stolen from a distribution. Yeah. So yeah, it was. He gave it back, so it's all right. Right?
Yeah, you just had to make a quick YouTube video about it.
I mean, like you didn't even have a game for it or anything. I don't think.
Yeah,
but still, to be the first one to have one.
So that's mildly interesting.
Yep. The lead up was way better.
Yeah.
To that
Speaking
story.
of mildly interesting,
the first thing I ordered on Amazon was Nintendo Wii component AV cable for HDTV, high definition 480p. I just wanted to let you know. That's all.
Now I gotta find out what the first thing I ordered on Amazon was.
We have to go.
It's gonna be something stupid. Let's see. It was in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? I ordered a game called The Ship, which is a decent game, actually. It was 1 cent.
1 cent?
That was it. I paid $3.95 in shipping. I paid 1 cent for the actual game that I bought.
Uh-huh.
That was May 9th, 2009.
Man, games were so cheap back then.
Oh, Jesus. And then I didn't place any orders in 2010.
Damn. So you just amazed. Yeah, so that first one was 2008. In 2009, I bought a USB touchpad. It's literally like a 2-inch by 1.5-inch touchpad with two, but and it's USB. Like if your touchpad goes out on your laptop, I guess for some reason, like order an external touchpad. I don't even know why I bought that, but yeah, that's.
So anyway, I was about to tell you something mildly interesting.
Oh, okay, go on.
Which is that John Smedley is now, speaking of Amazon, incidentally, he's now starting a new game studio with Amazon, which is interesting. But there's very little actual meat to this. I basically said the entire story at this point.
Yeah, that's it.
John Smedley, former president of Daybreak Game Company, as well as Sony Online Entertainment. Your best friend, who occasionally made you throw drinks on stairs or something.
he ordered me a pizza, and then I immediately like threw soda down the stairs because he called me, and so I was like, "What?" and dropped my shit. So, anyways,
Yeah.
yes, that was a long time
Now I
ago.
want a pizza.
It was good pizza too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. But yeah, he's working on something for Amazon Game Studios.
And that's it.
Yeah. That's mildly interesting.
Obviously, anytime Smelly does anything, it's always met with, people who have a lifelong disdain for the man, who, I'm not saying exclusively, but more than likely were probably playing Star Wars Galaxies back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny. I love watching the reactions around it because he's a nice guy, right? Like he's a nice dude.
Yeah, he seems legit.
But it's funny to say like the comments. Like if I go to the bottom of the comments on this Polygon article, it's probably a mix. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's the one that had the Twitter meltdown, and it was because of that time that there was a bomb threat made to him. See, somebody else will play Star Wars Galaxies. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I wonder if that has anything to do with what is that Song of Heroes? Heroes song.
Hero song. Yeah.
Hero song. I wonder if this. I mean, obviously, or honestly, the game probably wasn't taking off the way they had wanted it to. But. And maybe instead of saying, yeah, let's ride this out for a few more, he's probably like applying for jobs and shit. hit up Amazon, and they're like, yeah, you can run this thing. He's like, all right, well, guys, looks like the project's not working. Let's go ahead and shut it down. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I think the more interesting thing about to me personally isn't that John Smedley is involved necessarily. It's more that Amazon Game Studios is increasingly becoming a thing, and we've yet to see them actually release much of anything at this point, really, right? Like, I don't actually know that I've seen an Amazon Game Studios game. They have to have released something.
Oh yeah, they had that. Let's see. They just had right? Didn't they have that? Can't even hold on. Pulling it up right now.
Amazon Game Studios
Breakaway, which we saw a small video about.
Oh yeah.
Crucible. Oh yeah, maybe they don't have a release. I thought they had. Oh no, I'm thinking about the first game that Twitch Prime offered. That streamer based game that wasn't Amazon Game Studios. Yeah, that's right. Breakaway was the first one. The 4v4 brawler. That was the first one that they had, because I remember that was all over. I think E3 last year. I think they had like a big old booth or something.
Yeah, Breakaway, the one where half the characters are Overwatch characters.
Yeah. Yeah. There's quite a few. I don't know. They have a pirate, man. You guys don't have a pirate. What's up?
Give us some time. We'll come up with a pirate. I'm sure they just preemptively stole the idea.
It'll be It'll be a Jack Sparrow style character, which would totally fit with the Overwatch world. It needs.
Oh, it would fit right in. Yeah, for sure. What else should we talk about? Oh, you were playing Oxygen Not Included, and watching you play it made me immediately buy it, but I haven't played it yet.
You haven't played it yet?
No.
Dude, it's crack, man. I'm telling you, it's motherfucking crack.
It seems really good.
It is such crack, and it's not even done. Like, it's not even close to done.
Yeah, this is the problem with, is it Clay? Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
This is the problem that I have with Clay's games, is I'll buy them. I will spend so much money on them. I will never play them, and instead I will just watch your goddamn videos.
I was going to say, watch somebody else play it. See, at least then you're still supporting the actual developer.
Dude, yeah, when you used to do your Don't Starve series, like, I watched every single episode of that, some of them twice. And I've got maybe an hour into Don't Starve, probably more like 10 minutes. Actual time. Hang on, I can find this real quick.
Oh, please do.
Load up my Steam real quick and find out how much time I've actually spent playing Don't Starve, because I guarantee it is not even remote. Oh god, it's gonna make me log in.
No, gosh.
I don't remember my password.
Log into Steam.
Now I've got to use my Steam Guard code because I'm smart and have 2-factor authentication.
Well, you can't not, because they fucking bother you about it even after you sign up for the shit. They'll still be like, "Oh, do you have this thing set up?"
The worst part is like whenever I go to sell like the random cards that I get that I don't know why. No, I don't want to participate in a survey.
Oh Jesus! Just tell us how long. I probably could have looked this shit up myself on like SteamID.com or something.
Why is it downloading Starbound?
Oh
Why
my
do
god! I am gonna look it up
installed?
myself. SteamID, game
right.
time. There. That's perfect. All right, and let's see.
Don't starve. 11 minutes.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's not a lot of time.
No,
it's not a lot of time. I'm really upset though, by the way, because I just pulled it up. Like I got it up right after you you said it. So, but the thing is, it doesn't. Oh, it does actually show other projects. Let's see. Don't starve. There it is. 11 minutes.
Yep.
Can confirm. What games have you played more than that? Let's go to the bottom here.
A lot.
Excluding games you have not played, of course. Wow, you've only played 7 minutes of Awesome Knots?
Oh, yeah.
I'm really surprised. That's a really fun game.
Yeah, I played... So I bought it one day because I was like, oh yeah, Awesome Knots. Everybody says this is really good. I should play it. I played through the tutorial, and then I did something else, and then I forgot it existed.
Dude, that's such a fun game. Let's see. Oh, and I could just snoop your shit here. Let's see. You play a little bit of 40 minutes of Starbound. Yeah, it's a seasoned vet, I think.
I don't like that game very much. I can't get into Starbound or Terraria. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I literally have no idea why. They're not bad games. I just don't know why I can't get into them.
You got a good list of shit here. You have 3.5 hours in the ship, huh?
Oh yeah, the ship. That's some good shit. That I paid a whole cent for that in 2009.
Let's see. Your most played game is Arma 2, Operation Arrowhead. Pretty sure that is DayZ.
Yeah, that's DayZ. 134 hours.
What? That's the most time you have logged in a single game?
Well, I don't put like World of Warcraft in my Steam, so
I know,
yeah.
But still. I know that you have like an embarrassing amount of time in well, not really for you, but you probably have like years and years and years, like probably more time spent collectively in WoW than WoW has been out. I'm certain of it.
Probably not that, but I do have an absurd amount of time played in WoW. God. Like that, I probably spent 134 hours on WoW last week.
oh god, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Wow. I wonder what mine are actually, because I was that number shocked me a little bit. Interesting.
I have 90 minutes into BioShock.
You do?
I always get to the same point in BioShock and then I stop.
Wait, BioShock. I see Fallout 4 here at 90 minutes.
90 hours.
90 hours. Oh, whoops.
A little bit of a difference.
Sorry, I'm on the wrong side of the list, clearly.
I've played a lot of Fallout 4.
Wow.
I've played 11 minutes of Fallout New Vegas, but that's a bit of a lie because I've played a lot of Fallout New Vegas. It just wasn't through Steam.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like I saw you had Braid on there for 4 hours, and you could have probably played and beaten Braid a handful of times, and before maybe buying it direct from the developer before it was on Steam.
Yeah, I've finished Braid. I played and beat it. I wouldn't actually be surprised if 3 hours was how long it took me to play and beat it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, what's my deal? Let's see, most played. Here's the shockers. Space Engineers, number 1. With 1,301.4 hours.
I don't know how.
There is, everybody likes to say, oh, because you use AFK all the time. There's a little bit of AFK. Sometimes you just can't do fucking anything while you're refining shit or whatever. Warframe, it says 318 hours, and that number is grossly underinflated. And the reason why is because the game wasn't on Steam for the longest time. So I probably have close to about, I would say, like 1,000 hours in Warframe overall. Not just like combat missions or whatever, but probably idling at the fucking screen. All right, Armor 3, FTL, Don't Starve, Trials. None of these are a surprise. Dirt Rally, 60 hours. Jesus. I have so little progress in Dirt Rally, and I have 60 fucking hours. That's how hard that game is.
Nice.
Yeah, I have more hours AFK than you have, like your top, more hours AFK in Space Engineers than you have in your top, like, 3 games.
I believe it.
This is an interesting list.
Yeah, my Steam list is more a question of what games do I have that I know are really good, but I've literally never played.
That's tough. And then you try to organize your list to like your tags and everything to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back and play this. And then when you go back and you look at the actual list, you have like 100 games there, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Stardew Valley, never played it.
Whoa, wow, that's a shocker, actually, huh?
Yeah. Terraria, never actually played it.
Oh damn.
I played Starbound a little bit,
some people.
But never played Terraria. Undertale, never played it. Basically, I'm just bad at playing games.
Yeah.
Is sort of the lesson to learn there.
But you're good at watching them, though.
Never played Amnesia. Yeah.
There should be, like, some way to track, like, what games you have watched somebody else play to completion. Like, you should get some kind of credit for that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you didn't do it yourself, but a lot of times, especially with story-driven games, it's like, you don't necessarily need to play the game. You just want to experience it. It's kind of like I have a huge collection of, like, basically every movie theater ticket for a movie that I've watched in the past, 20 years. And it's just kind of cool for me. It's kind of like my own little achievement. It's like, oh yeah. I remember going and seeing, Matrix Reloaded or something like that, like in theater. They need something like that for like watching games to complete. You can just check a box. Bloop. There it is.
No, I've finished this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've apparently never played Fable 3. It's interesting.
Is that the one that I played a lot of? No. Oh yeah, I played a little bit of Fable 3. I don't think I really liked liked it overall. I actually love Fable 1. I played the shit out of Fable.
Fable 1, yeah, I played a lot of Fable.
Damn.
I played a fair amount of Fable 2 also. Mm-hmm. Apparently never got around to Fable 3. There's another one that I saw on my list earlier that I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I've never played that, and now I don't remember which one it was. Which is probably why I've never played it. Just keep forgetting it exists.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That's my least played. Oh, I'm just shit. Okay.
Yeah. So that's something.
Mm-hmm. So that's it.
Man, remember that time that we played 5 hours of hide and hold out?
Man, there were some good times had.
There were some good times had, and then occasionally we just died for no reason.
Yeah. And then have to find each other Yeah. Build a raft and then do all that stuff. It was a neat concept, but thinking back, I feel like the game was just like I know that there's underwater portions, but because you didn't use them very often, it almost felt like we were all just playing in a giant kiddie pool or something like that. Like we could have just got off and walked to shore if we needed to, because underwater was not really, there wasn't a whole lot of focus there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird game. Stanley Parable, never played.
Dude, you have to fucking play that.
I've heard it's really good.
You have to play. It's an experience game, and you could play it and beat it like 3 times in an hour and a half.
Okay. Because
that's just the way the story kind of unfolds. It's actually really, really, really cool.
Did you ever play Everyone's Gone to the Rapture?
Mm-mm.
That game was really good, and that also qualifies as a experience game. Like one of those games that you kind of need to put the word game in quotation marks because there's not much gameplay to it. It's mostly just walking around and discovering things.
Yeah.
Kind of like Gone Home.
Interesting.
Which, by the way, I've played 47 minutes of, which is the entire game twice.
I was gonna say that's yeah. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on in the game. I didn't know anything about it. And then when I got to the end, and I was just like, oh, okay, oh, commentary, that's cool. Like I was like, okay, that's cool. I guess like because there's clues that kind of lead up to what the conclusion is.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
She runs away with her girlfriend.
God damn it, you're fucking worse. You're the fucking worst. Jesus. Yes. Yeah. So the game is like I think it's like the older sister has gone home. House is empty. It's a big creepy ass house. I thought it was just like a horror.
I thought it was going to be a jump scare. Yeah.
I was waiting for a jump scare. Never happened. I was checking all these things out and I was kind of tiptoeing around. Again, going into the game blind. I had no idea what this game was about and whatever. And you find all these clues, all these notes left over from your sister, and she talks about all these things, and you kind of get to understand that she's not necessarily seeing eye to eye with her parents on something, but you don't necessarily know what it is because you're worried that some giant crazy googly moogly monster is gonna come out and scare the shit out of you, right? So And so you get to the end, you find out it's like, oh, she's gay and she left with her girlfriend. She ran away with her girlfriend, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, so at the end it was kind of okay. I didn't see that coming because I thought there was a weird twist, like monsters or some shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like listening to everything, but that was mostly because as soon as anything started playing, I was like, okay, stand very still. If I move, it might trigger a monster to come attack me.
Close your eyes and turn around real quick.
I think it's interesting too, like a lot of people have joked about Gone Home as this non-game sort of thing, but then won't about things like Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. And I think it's just a matter of people were playing Gone Home, especially because Gone Home came out around the same time that weird Slender Man game was starting to be kind of popular. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so people were like, "Oh, this is another jump scare sort of game. Like this is what this is." And they started playing it, and they go, "Nothing's jumped out at me." And then they finished it, and they went, "Wait, nothing ever jumped out at me. What was the point of this?" But if you just looked at it from the perspective of this is a story that you play through, and you find out the story, and you piece it together based on these bits of like,
but nobody would have played
sounds
it then.
That you hear.
Like if you knew what the end was about, then not very many people would be compelled to go and experience the story. You know.
Sure, but I think I don't know, like games like Firewatch. That's
please
like,
don't spoil it. I'm not
gonna spoil it.
Okay.
I sat and watched Olivia play through it, and like that's a good game. That it's actually really good, and you should play it. I'm not going to because now I've watched someone play the entirety of it.
Sure.
It's very story driven, so like I would have the exact same experience. But it's also one of those that you wouldn't necessarily qualify as a game if you were looking at it from the if your definition of it's a game includes you can fail at it, then Firewatch is not a game in that sense. But it's really it like games like Firewatch, games like Gone Home to an extent, games like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and from what I'm told, games like Stanley Parable are mostly they're really sort of pushing the boundary of games as interactive storytelling and less as necessarily like this is a challenge for you to overcome.
God, I can't wait you put Stanley Parable. I can't wait for you to play it, man. And then tell me.
I need to play it.
And then you're gonna tell me, you're gonna be like, "Why didn't you tell me to play this 6 years ago when it came out?"
Why haven't you? I feel like you haven't really adequately explained to me how good Stanley Parable is.
Obviously,
I'll install it right now. I'll install it on the wrong computer right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what Firewatch's story is, but I was there for the beginning, so I got kind of the entry, like kind of opening story, the guy's background, all that stuff, and I was like, oh, damn, some feels in this one. All right, here we go. And then we've Gone Home, you kind of wrap up. It's like, oh, there's a little bit of feels in this one. All right, here we go. And then you had Stanley Parable, which is, I mean, it's oh, man. It's good. It's good. It's a different kind of storytelling that I think you'll enjoy very much.
Nice. Well, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good one. That Dragon Cancer. That's a game that I will
Oh.
never ever play. I will never.
Yeah,
I
no.
respect the guy that
I'm
made it
not
and
touching
everything.
that.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll buy the game, sure, but I will not play it. And you know what? I feel like if I didn't know what the game was about, then maybe I would have jumped in. Like if it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the whole story from the get go is going to be based around that. But yeah, if I didn't know going in, I probably would have gotten in, played it, and then been miserable.
I saw at the video game awards the guy who made it like bursting out into tears, accepting the award for like most moving game or whatever. And at that moment, I was like, "Wow, I have an infinite amount of respect for this guy and what he's accomplished here. I am not touching that fucking game."
No way.
I would like to not be sad for the next month.
Oh man.
Hey, we accidentally did an entire episode.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty good.
Wait, notice we didn't actually say anything about oxygen not included other than the name.
Oh, game
No.
looks good.
It's fine.
I'll play it sometime. I have it installed on my laptop.
I started up a series similar to the Don't Starve Adventures series. It's called Oxygen Not Included Adventures. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing.
You like killed me right away. You wouldn't let me sleep.
Dude. Yeah, so in this adventure that I'm posting is completely separate playthrough. And here's what I think is going to be the most interesting part of it is that first off, the premise is spoilers, I guess, for the first episode. No, but the premise is the core group of people, which is you, Lore Squish, and myself. Basically, I just took the Worms crew, right? The Worms and Trials crew, and they are all. If they die, I bring them back, and I'm hoping that as things progress and as people die, the way that I'm doing it is like I am Mike 1. You are like Dev 0 Lore or something, or like you're Lore but with a 0. And then when you die, and the next one shows up, that's gonna
Dev
be
1 Lore.
L1 RE. Shizzle's the best though because it's the first one. It's the first kid. 0 Hizzle, 1 Hizzle, 2 Hizzle.
So he's got to die 5 times. And then he will be himself very briefly before dying again.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Shizzle's in
Nice.
chat. What up? Yep. Yeah, of course. The number scheme I thought was gonna be too good. And then I'll add like add people from Discord and all that stuff as I play through. But here's the thing though, is that the first 3 episodes I recorded and then I released them over the weekend just to kind of see what people like and if they like it. And then I'll probably end up recording like maybe 2 or 3 because I'll put it out like as often as as Don't Starve, which was like every day. And I was like, record like maybe a couple days a week to get the week's worth of content for that done. But in between every set, I'm gonna have tons of extra time and extra knowledge. So right now, I went from I'm at like episode 3 and I'm on like cycle 21 or something. I've already built up two colonies, one up to like 60 that I said fuck it, and the other one up to 100. I did that with like a really shitty like mapping that I put on my Steam controller so I could play it downstairs. But got to like day 100 day 100, and then I think everything fell apart. But I learned so much shit, and now I go from episode 3 where I'm like making really dumb mistakes to episode 4 where I'm still gonna make stupid mistakes, but I'm gonna be like amazing in other senses. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, sounds like I will probably watch that instead of playing the game. But I bought the game, so he's still getting my money, so that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
well, I closed the notes, so
all right.
I guess we're done.
That's how the show ends.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Thanks everybody for watching and listening and podcast.
Please don't take anything we've said today out of context.
Please just forget everything we said today. Just don't get your hopes up.